All right, it's Tuesday, time for Out of Sight with Rick Hancock. We're talking about CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. You've been to it in the late 90s. I was there in the early 2003, 2004. And it's always cool.
It's always cool, but
really
it's so
exciting.
much different now. Before, the focus really was on the technology and the trends. Now the technology is how can we incorporate this into our lives? A lot more. So a lot of the companies are focusing on tools, the cool factor, the social factor, the mobile factor. That's really the focus these days. And so going to the CESweb.org website, you can keep track of everything that's going on. Very, very useful information. They have really great videos. Talking about all the stuff that's going on, a lot of people. The photo galleries, I mean, this is a pretty extensive photo gallery of all the activities going on just from yesterday, because the show just started yesterday. We have our very own Rich DeMuro. He's there covering it for us. He'll be with us tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have a chance to chat with him to see what's going on. He does a great job out there, so you can follow Rich and all the things that he's been doing. The big news yesterday is that Microsoft had its last keynote. They've traditionally been the company that's kicked off the show. They've been doing for the last 15 of the last 18 years. They announced that they no longer will be the keynote, really won't present. Apple pulled out a few years ago. It's not really fitting into their product line announcements, so they're pulling out.
It's kind of like this opening here right now.
So it's a big opening because there's so many different smaller players out there. But if you're interested in following on Twitter, there's a lot of really big Twitter feeds coming from people who they're just tweeting like crazy. But the other big news that came out of yesterday's announcement of opening is that MySpace, remember MySpace? MySpace is kind of making a comeback. Making a comeback.
Really?
And they're tying in actually with Facebook, but also connecting with television stations, television shows, and becoming that second screen experience of sharing what other shows you're watching with your friends. So that's how MySpace, they made a big splash yesterday, and there might be a reason. I had to dig up my password for MySpace because I haven't been on. I think the last time I logged on MySpace was 2 years ago, and so I had to dig up. But
well, I was never on MySpace. I just went straight to Facebook.
There's a lot of people who probably will have a new reason to go back and check out MySpace because of their connection with television shows.
All right, so a lot of ways to stay connected and figure out what exactly is going on there at CES. And as always, you can head to our website, ctnow.com.